nature, and then she went back. She has made photographs of Civil War battlefields, landscapes of the Deep South, and pictures of her children and husband so intimate and honest that you blush even though you cannot stop staring at them. Unless you love what you photograph, you're not going to make good art, she has said, to which I can only add that the art in her work is so manifest that the love behind it must be considerable. If pictures ever had a beating heart, these do. And now she has written a memoir, Hold Still, a memoir that only she could write, where prose and photographs share equal billing. It is all about family and photography in the South and death and what remains, that being love. It is funny, irreverent, poetic, profound, and just generally about the most fun you can have with a book. As I read it, the word that kept coming to mind was pleasure. No matter what she has been writing about, it is a joy to keep company with the wry, beguiling voice that lives in every page. And before Sally comes out to read, her daughter Virginia has asked me to tell you at least a couple of things about her mother that you won't find on Wikipedia. So here goes. She was born in Stonewall Jackson's house. She pulled up hot tar off the road in the summertime when she was little and used it like gum. It was delicious, she says. And she doesn't always put her hands at 10 and 2 on the steering wheel. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Sally Mann.
Thank you all so much. What we've done is cherry-picked some paragraphs from the first chapter of the book, and I'm going to read them, and I'm going to try and make the pictures go with the words, if we have any luck at all here. I guess we can do the lights. What we're going to read is mostly about my wayward childhood and adolescence, starting with chapter 3, which is called The Bending Arc. As many people have remarked, I am lucky to have found Larry Mann when I did. Whether I was born this way or my personality was formed by circumstance, I don't think anyone would call me an easy person to deal with. And by the time our paths crossed, the hormones of the teen years had only made things worse. I had been a near feral child, raised not by wolves, but by the 12 boxer dogs my father kept around Boxerwood, the honeysuckle strangled and darkly mysterious 30-acre property where I grew up. The story of my intractability has been told and retold to me all my life by my elders, usually accompanied by a friendly little cheek pinch and a sympathetic glance over at my mother. Recently, in tracking down stories about Virginia Carter, the black woman who worked for my family for nearly 50 years, I visited Jane Alexander, a 96-year-old who repeated to me in a soft voice with a bobby pin twang to it the now familiar tale of my refusal to wear a stitch of clothing until I was 5. Family snapshots seem to bear this out. I know that my mother tried to raise me properly, but I made her cross as 2 sticks, and so she turned the day-to-day care of her stroppy, unruly child over to Virginia, known to everyone as Gigi, a name given her by my eldest brother, Bob. Jane Alexander reminded me about the beautiful, often handmade dresses that Gigi would lovingly press for me in hopes that they would soften my resolve to live as a dog. I have them still, pristine and barely worn. If my early years sound a bit like those legends of wolf-teat sucklers, I guess they were. But all the same, when I compare the lives of children today, monitored, protected, and overscheduled, to my own unsupervised, dirty, boring childhood, I believe I had the better deal. I grew into the person I am today, for better or for worse, on those lifeless summer afternoons, having doggy adventures that took me far from home, where no one had looked for me or missed me in the least. Looking back, though, it could be that my parents were a bit on the less than diligent side, even for the times. Once, when I was with my mother in the dry goods section of Leggett's department store, we saw the distinctive going-to-town hat worn by Mrs. Hinton bobbing above the bolt.